As an independent consultant, I do not have an office full of colleagues that I am working with every day. So having that opportunity at PDA to be on the board allowed me to have connections with almost like an office of my own, because you become part of the organization and you become very close in working with the staff and with the other board members. So for me, that was actually, has been a very wonderful experience for me. The first recollection I have is when I worked for FDA, is giving talks at PDA, mainly PDA FDA. And I think in 1997, I remember thinking that PDA was really a technically focused organization, and it was actually a pleasure to go and give a talk at a PDA meeting because everything was focused on the science and technical aspects. And as a regulatory person, for me, that was really an important thing about PDA that I really liked. After I left FDA, I became involved in planning for one of the PDA FDA conferences with a colleague that had also been heavily involved in PDA. And after that, I joined the RAQC. And from there on, realized that PDA was a really worthwhile organization for me, having left FDA and doing consulting. It was really allowing me to have a network and to build relationships with people in the industry, but also to keep a kind of finger on the pulse of what the new and upcoming hot topics were. I was working on the post-approval changes regulation. We totally were revamping the reporting categories for different post-approval changes for drugs and biologics. I was on the biologics side, and really at that conference, PDA was focusing on what was that going to mean for the industry. There were a number of guidances that CBER had put out, and CBER was also working on them. And plus there were changes at that point to the Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act and the Public Health Service Act that were also being impacted. And that was kind of the beginnings of where we started to look at post-approval changes through a risk-based approach. And PDA was heavily involved in risk management and that area, so that was a good fit for what we were trying to do and get the word out from FDA. I think, just like myself, they realized the benefits of working with an organization like PDA and have had a strong and continuing relationship with PDA. One great example is the 20-plus years that we've had with the PDA FDA meeting, which is a co-sponsored meeting between FDA and PDA. And it really allows FDA to get word out on things that they're working on, to make sure the industry is engaged and can understand what the issues are for the FDA. So it's really been, I think, a wonderful platform for both the regulators and the industry to understand what's going on in regulatory compliance and things like post-marketing approval and such. I think this board has a very good representation of women on the board and in leadership positions, chair, past chair, and our chair coming in, our chair-elect. So.
Yeah, and for sure, you were not the first female chair of PDA, but you are the first female immediate past chair whose chair is a female and chair-elect is a female. That has never happened before.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, so when I came onto the board, Nikki Maringer was the chair at the time, and I think there was a prior chair, Joyce Idolette, and that was a woman, and so there were other women, there were many. I mean, it was a pretty good representation at that time when I came on the board, but not necessarily in the leadership roles of the executive committee, so, and the officer positions. So now I think, yeah, that we've definitely come a long way. think for new members, getting your feet wet is a good thing is to start by going to the conferences and starting to meet some of the people that come to the conferences and that are active in PDA as volunteers. We are looking to try and mentor new members, so I think there are opportunities for you to advance your career by getting involved in PDA, and we have volunteer opportunities all the time. We make call for the volunteers in our PDA letter and through email blasts, and I think one of the good opportunities for a new member would be to work on something like a technical report, because this allows you to take what you're doing in your actual job and hear what other people are doing, and then be a contributor to that technical information that the industry will use. So that's another good opportunity, I think, for new people. The networking events, though, I think would be number one, to really start to know other people in the industry and to build that network that you're going to need to advance your career. I will not stop being active as a volunteer in PDA just because I'm going off the board. I look forward to continuing to be involved in many aspects of PDA, so something you'll see me still.
Well, that's good news. That's good news for all of us.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
Me too.